Come on, let's take a little walk through the neighborhood and see who we meet. Oh, who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet each day.
Okay, so, oh my goodness, look at all the friendly faces and the warm smiles I'm looking at. Thank you so much for coming. This is the first and hopefully many more installments of Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood series. Okay? Last month, some of you may remember, we featured Ken Roberts' watercolor artwork. And it was so well received that we decided to continue to use this platform to highlight and spotlight some of your neighbors in your neighborhood. So, who are the people in your neighborhood? Let me tell you what inspired me to bring this series. And I'm going to play you a song from a children's television show. And let's see if you can remember this song from way back then, okay? When I say to you, who are the people in your neighborhood, what does that remind you of?
Sesame Street.
Oh, Sesame Street! Yes! See if you remember this.
Oh, who are the people in your neighborhood?
If you know the words, sing along.
In your neighborhood, say, who are the people
In your neighborhood.
The people that you meet each day.
Pat knows it.
Hi there, little fella. Hello. Hey, listen, you know who you could be if I gave you this little hat and a bag to carry over your shoulder?
That could be a laundry man.
No, not a laundry
How about
man.
Santa Claus?
No, not Santa Claus.
What's wrong with Santa Claus?
There's nothing wrong with Santa Claus.
Don't you like Christmas?
Oh, I love Christmas, but you could be the postman.
A postman. Oh, the postman always brings the mail.
You know that.
Through rain or snow or sleet or hail. I'll work and work the whole day through. To get
I
your
need to
letter
say so
safe
for Brent.
to you.
Cause the postman is a person in your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
He's in your neighborhood.
A
Postman is a person in your neighborhood. A person that you meet each day.
So that was my inspiration for the series, Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood? That song. And I tell you what else too. This inspiration came from my very own experience from starting to work here at Shorehaven as an activity staff. There are many perks to my job, but on the top of the list of perks is getting to know each and every one of you. Your names, your faces. And as I start to get to know you, I discovered that behind every face, there is a story. And learning about your life stories, I realized that your stories, your personal stories of impactful life is worth retelling. So that is the reason why I bring to you Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood, because your story matters. Your story matters. So we're going to use this platform in the next coming months to introduce some of the neighbors to you and discover who your neighbors are. All right? So of course this week you've read the flyer, you've heard it on Channel 900. Jenny Jackson is our a person in our neighborhood this month. So Jenny, welcome so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And let me get my mic too, because I don't want to yell. We've been so excited to have you come so that we can get to know you a little bit better. And as I got to know you when I started working here, when I visited her apartment, I discovered treasures. She has a talent. So I asked her if I can feature her artwork in this day that we set aside for you. So how are you feeling about this?
I am so honored and so excited and surprised too. I didn't expect all. Thank you all for coming. And this is the friendliest place anyone could live.
Aw, I didn't pay her to say that. We didn't rehearse, so thank you. That was such a nice statement. Look around the room and feel the love.
I know them.
Oh, Chaplain Nick's sending you some love back from the back of the
Yes,
room.
I
And Jan Zimmerman's here, so thank you.
There's Pastor Nick.
Aw.
That's nice.
Okay, so what I mentioned was, as I got to know you and know the stories behind the face and the name, your story matters and it's worth retelling and sharing with your neighbors. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Is that okay, Jenny?
Okay.
All right. So I was wondering how you got started with painting. Was that something that was early on as a child? You enjoyed doing that?
I love coloring and I loved art museums, and I love beautiful things.
Yes.
This is a beautiful world, and I love to paint, and I love flowers, as you'll see in my paintings, and people. People are beautiful.
Can you hear Jenny okay? You can. So I'm going to drop the mic then, okay? Because it's kind of awkward for me to
I
reach over.
taught school. You can hear me talk.
Speaking of teaching school, so tell us about your early days. You said you've always enjoyed artwork and beautiful things, God's creation. And I can see from your subject that you do like nature and things that God created. So going way back, okay, we're going way back. We want to know a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
Way down in southeast Arkansas.
Woohoo!
I'm a little Arky.
Oh no, I said that because I grew up in Arkansas. I don't have the southern accent that she has anymore, but I grew up in Arkansas, and in visiting with Jenny, I found out that she went to a small private university in Conway, Arkansas. It's the same university that my nephew played football for.
It's a Methodist school. I was third generation.
Yes.
My grandfather and my father graduated from there first.
Yes. They're the orange and black warriors, right?
That's orange and black,
got
and
that
so
right.
is my high school colors.
Nice,
Orange and black.
nice. But there's another team in Arkansas that's really, really in the mainstream. They're more well known than Hendrix. What is it?
Ooh, pigs, silly.
Pigs. That's right. That's right.
We had a party and everybody wore those big pig noses at the party.
Yes, they have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun. Okay, so you grew up in Arkansas. How in the world did you get to Wisconsin, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin?
I married a traveling man.
I think there was a song written about that.
He and I both graduated from the high school in Arkansas, but then he went to the Navy. And I wrote to him, and finally some of the things he wrote, I had to burn some of those letters because my mother was sort of a nice Southern lady of what he would say. And when he came out of the Navy, I had taught school, and we got married, and he started school, and I taught. And as soon as it was legal, we had a darling little girl named Deborah Lynn. There's a picture of her that I didn't paint. That someone painted for me. That's Debbie in my yard with our dog, Ginger Rogers Pooh Dog Bear.
So I have a question based on what you just shared. Did you know that Jenny was a teacher? Okay, we learned something new about you.
My
Did
mother and father were. My daddy was a principal, and he sure did that cute sailor. He gave him a hard time. He went to his closet, and the kitchen and got a shotgun out while Leo was there and said, "What do you think of that, boy?"
So
I'll never forget that.
you said something that was intriguing. You said once we were legal, we had our first baby.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, if it's not too personal. How old were you when you got married?
Oh, I was probably 22.
Oh, you were legal. You were
Yeah.
legal.
Oh, I'd already taught school.
Oh, so when you taught school, Jenny, did you teach art?
I taught some art.
Okay.
I taught music. I taught reading, writing, and arithmetic. I
Wow.
taught the little kids.
Okay, all
They
right.
were bad enough.
Jenny, I was going to ask what inspired you? I know you said nature, but did you have an artist that influenced your style, or did you? Let me backtrack a little bit. Can I backtrack, please?
Sure.
Okay. Did you take any formal art classes, or were you just self-taught and you just
I
were
took some
natural?
art classes.
You did take some art
I
classes.
don't remember where now,
Okay.
but I took art.
Was there anyone in your life that influenced you as an artist? Was there a teacher or an art teacher?
I
or
don't know. I just enjoyed it all.
Mhm. How did spending time painting make you feel? Was that a way to relax?
I'd like to have something to see when I finished working. My husband played golf, and that's what he had to score. But I painted, and I had a picture for a long time to remember.
Well,
so.
when you golf, you have really nothing to show for at the
Yes.
end.
He liked it.
Except for maybe some missing golf balls. But when you paint, you enjoy looking at what you
I liked
created.
and I gave and sold a lot of things.
You did. Okay. So I'm going to move into some of the pieces that we have displayed here. And like I told you, audience, at the very end of the interview, you'll have time to do a walkabout where you can enjoy some of her painting close up. I would like to ask, and I know the answer, but they do not. What piece is your very favorite piece that you created?
Well, I love the partridge in the pear tree.
Let me get it for
But
you.
let's see.
Tell the audience about this piece.
That one is from a song, you know, the partridge in the pear tree. I painted that, and two other of my friends liked it so much that I had to do two more. So that's one of my favorites. But there's one, that one over there on that table of the flowers. That one will go a blue ribbon at a show.
So there's a certificate in the back of this one. And can I read it to them?
Sure.
Okay, GFWC Art Contest. What does GFWC stand for?
The Federated Women's Club. We help people all over the world.
Yes, and there's a certificate back here. She won. She won a category of
I was so
award
proud
for
of that.
So that's very pretty. Now, for those of us who aren't very learned artists, is this oil or acrylic? What do you prefer to
I think
use?
that was probably acrylic.
This was acrylic.
I quit oil because someone would walk past and do this and smear it, and it smelled bad. Acrylic dried faster, it didn't smell bad, and it was so colorful and bright. I loved it.
Okay. And what other, okay, I see another ribbon over here with the cardinal. Let's talk about this piece. This has a ribbon next to it. Can you tell the audience about this piece?
I don't know when that happened. I don't know, but that's one of my favorite.
It says honorable mention. Oh, there's a date. April 16th, 84.
Well, that was a while back.
1984. Okay, and then I wanted to point out, Jenny says, oh, don't bring this piece down. I didn't paint it. But it's such a lovely piece that I had to steal it off her wall. And when you come up closer, you'll see that there's a photograph right above the picture. So Jenny, why don't you tell them about this piece?
I adored my first little granddaughter, Megan, and when she came to see us, she was in the backyard and she loved our dog. So she was out walking, and I took that picture of her with Pooh Dog, and I painted, and a friend of mine painted that picture. I didn't paint it, but it hangs in my house, and Megan will have it someday.
That's sweet. So that's her granddaughter.
Yes.
Okay, and then
my
I have this. I stole this off your wall. I shouldn't say it that way. She gave me permission to take these off her wall, and this is a personal side of Jenny. So there's a family picture. So why don't you tell them about that picture?
Well, there's my granddaughter Megan, the one that's a lawyer and has the cute little children. And there's my little grandson. My son just passed away a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Nick is going to do the service later. And this is me, and this is Callie, she was my other granddaughter. She had the hardest time learning to read, and my daughter sent her to school. Now she's teaching 7th grade science. 120 kids. That just bowls me over.
Yeah, those teachers, they have a job cut out for them, don't they?
And she and Caleb, their son, just had a darling little baby boy, Cooper.
I love that name.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry your daughter couldn't be here today. That would have been really a nice
she is
addition
on
to have her with
vacation.
us.
I'm sorry she
Yeah.
can't be here too. She's wonderful. You should see the beautiful orchid plant she just sent me.
Oh.
I never saw such a gorgeous one.
Oh, we should have brought it up here.
No, no. It came today.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you would like to share? You know what? I have one last question. Did you do painting as a professional, or was it basically just a hobby that you
I
enjoyed?
started out painting just as a hobby, but I love to go to the art shows, and I entered art contests.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of my paintings were sold, and I gave a bunch away to neighbors and to family.
Well, in my book, if you sell a painting and make money off it, that makes you a professional, right, Al? Can you endorse that?
Yes.
You're a professional, Jenny.
Well, there's Al.
I
just
know.
right there. He's got pictures everywhere.
Right. We're gonna spotlight Al later. We're gonna
Okay.
spotlight Al later. I have some other folks in waiting. Been shoulder tapping people. I'm hoping to still get Mel and Pat's taxidermy pieces up here because Mel did some taxidermy work. And I'm not saying that right, taxidermy. Does that make him a textologist? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, he has some really neat pieces in his apartment. So I'm working alongside his son to be able to
Who is
feature
that?
Mel and Pat. Mel and Pat.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So at this point, I would like to turn the table around and see if any of you audience members have any questions for Jenny. Barb?
I was just gonna say, it's so much fun to know. I didn't know you painted or anything.
See?
Yeah.
This is a good platform to get to know your neighbors. Yes, I'm sure there's other hidden talents in the audience right now. So when I come visit you one-on-one, you might get an invitation. Does anyone else have a question or two for our feature artist, Virginia Jackson?
There's one thing else I didn't mention, that I love to help people. Where is the grandmother? She was here. There she is. She's a nurse now. I was taking care of Doris Hallam, the car automobile people, and I got to see her, and she was afraid of the elevator even. So I got to take her on the elevator and bring her back, and we became close friends.
Really?
And
Are you talking about Sue
I
Pooler?
always enjoyed helping people too.
You said you refer her as a nurse. Are you talking about Sue?
I think she's talking about Donna.
Donna. Okay. Is Donna here? No.
She's not aware.
Oh, okay. I see. That was before my time. Thank you for cluing me in on that. Does anyone else have a question for Ginny? Before I turn.
What floor are you on?
What?
What floor? Where does your
One, over 10 years.
good place to be?
Anything you want to know, I'm an old hand.
Right across the hall from me. Okay.
Well, Jenny, this was it's delightful to have you up here
Oh, it's
and make
fun.
you queen for the day and put the spotlight on you. How about we give her a round of applause?
I don't believe this.
I know, you deserve it.
So
You're
nice.
very talented. Thank you so much for coming and letting us see some of your painting. These are just some of them, right? I'm sure you sold some.
Some of them were
Okay.
sold and some of them I've given away.